Hello.
Hello, how are
Hello,
you today?
everyone. I'm good, Daya. How are you?
Not you, the listeners.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you cared about me, Daya.
I don't care about you. But, Joanna, Exoana, how are you feeling today?
I am great. I've had a revelation, a light bulb moment.
Uh-huh.
I found out why Albanians have trust issues.
I think I know. It's because when we were kids, there was always a bottle of water somewhere, but it was never water. It was raki.
That is actually the second reason. Actually, for everyone that's listening, that is like the weirdest thing that Albanians do, is that they put the raki in like cola bottles or just like water bottles.
Water bottles.
And when at 2 a.m. or something, you go to the fridge, you are parched, you want water, you drink it, and on the third sip in, you realize it's not water and raki, it's raki.
The third?
Oh my
What
God.
do you mean the third?
Okay, I was sleepy.
The first.
I wasn't like...
It's raki.
Has it ever come out of your nose?
No, I'm not a... I was gonna say the P word, the vajayjay. No, I cannot swear, I forgot.
Yeah, for everyone that listened to our to our first episode, if we swore a lot, sorry. It's just because in English, because it's not our first language, to us it's just filler words. It's not swear words. But yeah, no, actually, that is the second reason. The first reason is it's because of dictatorship. Because when our parents were growing up, they were taught that every other person, no, 1 in 3 people were spies. So they had to like doubt everyone. Doesn't that make sense?
Yes. But I think raki, the bottle of raki is the first. Anyway.
Okay, our generation is traumatized by raki.
Yes.
But our parents' generation, I think, is traumatized by the fact that they couldn't trust anyone with their real opinions because of the dictatorship. So, yeah, so I wanted to talk a bit about the dictatorship just because I thought that it's such a big part.
Oh, yay. So exciting.
You're not excited?
I love communism. I just love it.
Communism. What about fascism?
I need coffee. After a cup of coffee, I will be able to answer that. But I love communism because I'm very sleepy. I'm sorry for all the listeners. We love communism and bring Enver Hoxha back. Enver Hoxha was our dictator, by the way.
Dictator. Yeah, he was our dictator. And actually, as far as dictators go, he was a very capable one. I'm not saying a good one. I'm not like, obviously he did a lot of things that were suspicious.
Questionable.
Questionable, that was the word. But he was very capable because nobody could overtake him. The dictatorship only ended when he died.
I think
for everyone that go on.
A couple of years later, after he died.
Yeah, actually, it was about 6-7 years later.
Oh, okay. I mean,
because he had a successor.
They tried.
Yeah, he had a successor, but he just wasn't that good. So yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, Albania was a dictatorship from 1946 to 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it?
I guess. What?
So Enver Hoxha died in 1985. I know that. Because I remember my mother saying that she was 12 when he died, and everyone remembers the day, apparently. I guess it's like the dictator. I guess it's like when Princess Diana died. Everyone knows where they were when she died. Obviously not me, but the English. Well, actually, the whole world. Princess Diana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a thing that everyone remembers the moment they found out that she died because she was the princess of the people. Everyone loved her.
Yeah.
We were too young.
Oh, okay.
I think she died in the year I was born, or maybe a year later.
I don't know.
We were too young.
The only death I remember is Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston as well.
I think I don't remember any of like celebrity deaths.
They were not just celebrities, Exoana. It was Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston.
Yeah, fair enough. Houston.
Yeah. Anyway, we love Enver Hoxha. Bring Enver Hoxha back.
Are you would you actually rather live in Enver Hoxha times than now then?
Yes, because everyone was equal back in the day.
How? Okay, but they were not equal because Enver Hoxha vacationed in Montpellier and Monaco.
Yes, the normal people were all equal.
Yeah, starving to death.
They were all equal.
Okay, communism was never achieved. Like, he had the Stalin's like ideology, but that everyone had like different classes in society, and they never like the idea was communism, but the communism was never achieved because not everyone was equal. There were different classes in society.
There were only two classes, Exoana.
Enver Hoxha and the rest?
Enver Hoxha and his puppies.
Yeah.
And normal people.
Yeah, like, I only found out recently that he vacationed in Europe, in the south of France.
Of course he did.
What on earth? It's crazy to think that people had to actually have coupons for the amount of food they needed. Like, but it's weird, I know. But in Albania, in the dictatorship time, they couldn't actually buy as much food as they wanted. They had rations, and whatever, even if they were hungry, a family only could buy the amount of food that the party allowed.
Yes, and that's why everyone back in the day was I won't say fit, but thin. They were skinny legends and healthy skinny legends.
Yeah, they were they were getting ready for the 90s. Well, yeah, skinny, but very unhealthy. I've seen photos, and everyone looks like they can barely stand up. Everyone's about to fall over because they don't have energy.
Yes, that's the 90s.
Everyone was everyone was a modern slave, basically, because they all worked for the party. But they never really got any benefits from it.
What kind of benefits do they need? Did they? Anyway.
Freedom of speech. They used to smuggle books. That's how bad it was. Like, there was no freedom of speech or of creativity. What about one of our most... what about one of our most famous writers in Albania, Ismail Kadare? He was...
he died.
Yeah, go on.
Rest in hell.
Yeah, he died recently. Oh my god. Yeah, I bet if there is a hell, he's there.
I hope.
Yeah, but he was persecuted because he was an intellectual. Yeah, this is why he had to leave Albania, from what I know.
From what I know, he was a effing communist.
From my understanding, Enver Hoxha got rid of every intellectual because he didn't want anyone to fight against him. Because,
But was he...
Well, people...
Was this writer fighting against Enver Hoxha, though? I don't know. I was not there.
So why did he leave Albania?
My dad also left Albania.
Not during communism.
Yes, during communism.
By the end of it?
No.
When? What year?
I don't know, maybe 70s, 80s, something. I don't remember. But he was in Paris, I think, for like a concert, because he's a musician. Hello.
Yeah, okay,
And
that's different. But normal people couldn't leave.
my dad was alta class. Also,
Yeah.
my grandfather was like was a communist as well. So yeah, they had like benefits. And
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
my dad could not tell anyone how beautiful Paris was when he came
yeah,
back.
that's what I mean. Like, there was no freedom of speech because my great grandfather, one of them was a communist for the party. So my grandfather's side, they were having a lovely time. They were just strolling through life, doing whatever and whenever. But my grandmother's, my grandmother's father, so my great grandfather, he was educated in Bulgaria. So he was a very highly educated man, and he was an imam as well, like a Muslim priest. And when the borders closed, they asked him to come back to Albania, and so the option was they were going to kill him at first, but instead of killing him, they persecuted him to a very tiny village in the north of Albania, which in my opinion is worse than death, but that's besides the point. And he couldn't like speak up or practice his religion. Basically, he was living in the middle of nowhere, where you have to walk for 5 days to reach where he lived. It was that kind of thing, and he persecuted everyone that was knowledgeable because they could fight against him. And also he was like a very insecure radical man, because he built like 700,000 bunkers around Albania, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And this is the bunkers were used by couples to have, the dirty. This is the
I didn't know that.
yes, my mom used whatever. Skip.
Oh my god.
Skip.
We used to play on them when we were kids, on the bunkers. And I never realized when I was a child that we were a post-communistic country. I thought we were just living our best lives with our plastic sandals.
The blue ones? I had blue ones.
I had pink ones.
Oh, such a princess.
Yay. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like when you think back about how our childhoods went, you realize that the effects of communism, and obviously the mess that was left after communism ended, and nobody knew what to do without being told what to do.
Oh, you mean they were free for the first time in their life?
Yeah, it's like if you keep a bird caged for all of his life, he won't even know how to fly. And we were like that. I swear, this is why we have like such a bad reputation around Europe.
I was just about to say that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand. Like Greece still makes jokes about Albanians only showering on Sundays.
I mean,
maybe
we
because
make
water was rationed.
we make that joke as well here, as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's still a joke.
Everyone's clean on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the water was rationed. They couldn't like do whatever they wanted to. But yeah, it's funny, and it's funny because you were so what? What were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was just like,
Yeah. Okay, a realization.
Yes.
I was gonna say. Did you know that I only found out a few days ago that Enver Hoxha, our dictator, was a Shia Muslim.
Was he a Muslim?
I didn't know. He was a Shia. He was born in a Shia Muslim family, like a Bektashi.
Oh, that's Shia Muslim. Okay. But he was.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but was he religious though?
No, Albania was the first atheist. Well, I don't know if he was religious, but to Albanians, he was God. Like, we are the first atheistic country in the world, and probably the last, to be honest, because I haven't heard that happening again.
Oh.
Maybe is North Korea atheistic? Is Kim Jong-un their god?
Kim Jong-un can... Anyway. Yes, and every house has to have like a picture of him.
A photo.
Yeah, a picture of him like in the wall. And I've heard that police, or I don't know, I think police. I think it was police. Yeah,
Military.
I don't know. Some people sent by Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, and check if the picture is dusty. And if it's dusty, they will punish the family. Yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
It's insane what is happening to the world. Do you think he's taking his lessons from Enver Hoxha? Do you think he's watching previous videos and just like taking notes?
Maybe.
It's crazy. And in also in North Korea, they have like 3 haircuts they're allowed to get.
I mean, I think it was the same in Albania. I don't know about women, but men were not allowed to have like long hair.
Long hair.
And when the 90s came, every guy was growing out their hair. If you've seen old videos.
Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing them around walking with their long hair.
Like,
it was
like a mullet.
Yeah. But it was famous everywhere, the mullet, for a while.
Yeah, but every Albanian had that. Kind of like a mullet.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Honestly, even women at some point. I was watching Terminator. I was watching Terminator 1, and it's from the 80s, and the ladies had mullets. It was hilarious. The fringe was like just there on the top like a ball. It was hilarious, and everyone had perms.
Don't get a mullet. For everyone who's listening, don't get a mullet. It's not it.
It's not it at all. Or the mustache. God, with guys with like the tiniest of mustaches. Mustaches?
Yeah.
Mustache, whatever.
Mustache.
I do like the fact that we were an atheistic country, to be honest. I know that it wasn't nice for everyone that wanted to practice religion, but that did make us very, very welcoming towards other religions. We are very peaceful with it. Like you have 2 mosques and a church in the same street.
Yes. My house is located between 2 churches, one Catholic and one Orthodox.
Oh, yeah.
And the mosque is like a few meters away, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a few meters away. And
I can hear the guy singing the Quran and also the bells of the church. Yes, it's fucking, it's effing lovely.
I bet that's a nice alarm at 5 a.m.
No.
I know. I lived in the same area when I lived in Albania, and it is. Well, you get used to it. I didn't even register it after a while.
Yeah, you kind of get used to it after a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but we are a very like peaceful country. Nobody cares, right?
Nobody cares, bro. My mom is an Orthodox, and my dad is a Muslim. Okay, not like the
mainstream Muslims.
Your typical Muslim who goes to the mosque and prays 5 times a day, but he identifies as a Muslim.
Yeah, well, in Albania, most people are like that. They're not very religious. They're just like loosely believing. I think the main thing that Albanian Muslims do is that they don't eat pork. And then the rest is whatever, like a free-for-all.
Whatever. I'm going to drink alcohol, but I'm going to pray afterwards. And Allah will forgive me.
Inshallah. Yeah, I remember my mom telling me that when someone smuggled the book from outside of Albania, they had to be so careful so nobody knew, and they couldn't tell anyone. Like they couldn't openly discuss books and things like that, because everything that they watched and everything that they read had to be controlled by the party.
What do you mean discuss books? Never in a million years. My mom's uncle, yes, many years ago, he lives in a village in the south of Albania anyway. great guy, respectă. He had a friend, like a very close one. They would like go to each other's places and hang out and walk to work every morning and stuff like that. And the whole time, his friend was like gathering information from my mom's uncle.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Did anything happen to him?
Hang on. And the uncle accidentally, well, not accidentally, he trusted this guy because they were like friends for many years. He said, I don't know, something like, oh, I wish I could visit, I don't know, Paris or Rome or something like that. I don't know. And he, just because he said that, he went to jail for like 9 years or something.
Oh my, yeah, like things like this happened all the time. It was crazy. Like if you expressed any discontent with the party. Oh, what about the elections? I've seen an old video of the elections. You know.
Yes, elections. Who are you gonna vote? Enver or Enver?
Yeah, everyone, literally everyone was signing things on tables, and 100% was for Enver because otherwise you'd just get killed.
Yes.
And my mother used to say to me that you couldn't say that, for example, like the bread that I bought today wasn't very nice. It's treason against the party.
Mm-hmm.
What the? It's crazy.
But do you think people were happier then?
You know what? My grandfather, although he did have a communist, well, his father was an economist for the party, so I'm not sure about his ideologies, but he does sound like a communist. He had a great time, so he expresses longing for the dictatorship.
Maybe because he was privileged. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's because he didn't suffer for it, and also because they had a lot of relatives. You know, I was saying that everything was rationed, so they couldn't get a lot of food. Well, they had a lot of family members that lived in the countryside, so they had their own farm animals, and they raised their own crops, so they got a lot of food from them, so they never actually struggled. So I think that's why. And also in a way they were all brainwashed to think that he was doing something good for the country.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think Enver did some good stuff for the country. Like for example, back in the day, now it's like super easy to just buy a house in Tirana, in the capital city of Albania, and just live here. That's why it's so damn crowded right now. But back in the day, you could not just like come and live here.
Oh yeah, you had to have a passport. You have to actually have your passport with you to actually enter Tirana.
That or like my father, again, my father was privileged, and Enver was the one who sent him to study in Tirana because he was like an excellent student.
Yeah, exactly. So only those types of people could move, but the rest couldn't just leave. Or if they needed the hospital and needed to come to Tirana for any type of thing, they didn't really have any choice but to get permission from the state to enter. I think that's also because he lived there and he was very, very paranoid about people wanting to kill him. Like he killed his own brother-in-law because he thought he was a spy.
No mercy. Like a Russian spy.
Yeah. Is it Russian? Yeah, I think it was a Russian because so Enver did have. So the first part of the dictatorship, he was very good. He had very good relations with the Soviet Union, and they gave him $200 million in 1946. $200 million. You understand that? That's a massive amount of money to this day.
I don't speak rich. I don't understand.
Well, apparently, Enver did because so the Soviet Union gave him $200,000 to improve the infrastructure, and I don't. He did buy a lot of tractors and stuff to improve the infrastructure, at least the farming wise.
Okay.
And he did try to build a lot of the industry. So, but what he did is that he was in the talks with China as well.
Oh.
So he took money from
Gossip.
China. Dun, 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 dun. So he took money from China as well. And he broke the relation with the Soviet Union. And he brought the Chinese to build industry in Albania. But they weren't as good as the Soviet Union. So at some point, he pushed them away. And he broke the relations with both of them. So he had to like close Albania and like lock it down. And just make sure that this is one of the reasons he built the bunkers. For everyone that hasn't been in Albania, there is this massive mountain that is bigger than Ben Nevis, which for Daya, my Albanian friend, is the biggest friend, is the biggest mountain in the United Kingdom. That's what the Malidaitit is bigger.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I know, right? He's carved the entire mountain. It's like a five-story bunker with like a theater and many rooms and teaching like classrooms, cafeteria, everything, because he was actually expecting someone to attack because he had annoyed a lot of people. But he was doing all of this while protecting his image. Everyone in the world thought that we were like a happy country, that everyone was equal and everyone was getting what they deserve.
I mean, we were equal.
Like, for example, sending your father equally
poor,
starving. Yeah. Yeah, and he sent people outside of Albania to compete in sports and in music and things like that, because he did want to keep the image of that he was doing, because he did take money from other countries. I will say though that after the World War II and after we had struggled, what?
I'm listening.
After World War II and after we'd struggled with Italy's invasion and then Greece and then the Nazis, this thing that he did, that he closed Albania off and we were finally a country, it was actually not the worst thing, because during World War II Albania was under the ruling, and I say this very loosely, the ruling of our king. For everyone that doesn't know, Albania was a monarchy at some point. That didn't last long.
Ahmed.
Yeah, Ahmed was a self-proclaimed king that left Albania to the mercy of the Italians, and he just fled the country when the country needed him most. It's a dick move, if you ask me.
No, it's not a dick move. I wish Italians would actually invade us, because we would be like cute and...
Well, Albanians did invade us during World War II. That was the whole point.
You mean Italians?
Well, we still have the sewage system that the Italians put during his ruling, during the monarchy. The sewage system in Albania, Daya,
I'm sleeping.
was done. Most of it was done during World War II, during the Italian invasion.
I don't know about that. Well, it wasn't
an invasion as per se, but they did have like a agreement, because the Italians wanted the all of Adriatic. For everyone that's not very good at geography, Italy and Albania are divided by the Adriatic Sea.
I know that.
I know that. But so they wanted all of Adriatic. And they had the contract to be friendly countries or sister countries, but they didn't keep that, so they actually invaded Albania, And that's when Zogu fled.
Mm-hmm.
And Greece and Italy at one point fought in Albania during World War II. It was a mess. I don't know, Albania is always the scapegoat, isn't it?
I mean, what can I say, Exoana? Everyone wants us. Everyone loves us.
That is true.
Everyone wants to
what's
invade
not to
us.
love, right? We are adorbs.
We are spicy white.
Spicy, yeah.
Spicy white.
Oriental white. Yeah. Like, we are white, but we can season our food.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of seasoning.
Yeah. A lot of oregano.
And salt. Yes. Proceed.
Where was I? I'm at Zogu. Yeah, so... although, I will say... Oh, yeah, so Ahmed Zogu fled to Greece first. Eventually, he made it to France. So he was a king he was first a prime minister, and then a president, and then a king. He's self-proclaimed king.
Mm-hmm.
Should I tell you, do you know how he got to be king?
No.
Do you want me to tell you?
Maybe. I personally don't want to. I will forget it after 5 minutes, but if our listeners want to know that, you can proceed.
Okay. So actually he's very smart. So he was a prime minister. And when he was a prime minister, he gathered the parliament. And he basically proposed this rule that a president can pass a law on by itself, like he doesn't need a parliament. You know, to pass a law, you need to have the votes of the parliament. Yeah, so he passed the law. He convinced the parliament to pass a law that the president could pass a law without the need of parliament. So if the president wants to, he signs it, and that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he became a president.
Dun, 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 dun.
And he self-proclaimed... Well, he proclaimed himself king. He just said, I am king. Albania is a monarchy now. And that was it. That was that. How smart is that?
I mean,
obviously fucked up.
I mean, if Beyonce can do it, then Ahmed Zogu, Ahmed the bird, can do that as well.
Ahmed the bird. Oh, yeah. For everyone that doesn't know, Zogu means bird.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, so he fled eventually. He tried to move to England during World War II, and he was granted passage as an asylum seeker, as a political asylum, but he was not recognized as a king in England, so he had the passage as if though he was like a normal person. And I guess he didn't like that, so he moved back to France in Versailles, where he had a lovely time until he died of cancer, I think, in 1966, maybe?
That's so nice to know that he had a lovely time in France.
I know, right? Yeah, probably him and Enver Hoxha met up and were like, ha ha ha, we made so much money off of Albanians.
Yeah, but they took none of it. After their death, I mean. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, to their graves, yeah.
So
but
what's the point?
Yeah, so I guess if you think about it that way, the dictatorship did help Albania get a bit stable for the first time in history, because we only were declared a country in 1912.
Yes, and after communism, they were destabilized.
Yeah, destabilized. I think it's okay now. But yeah, so I think this is why everyone thinks Albania is a bomb site, because they used to make documentaries about us, like they do now about North Korea. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, this country that nobody can get in and stuff. But they don't realize that in 30 odd years that we've been a free country, well, not just a free country, a democratic republic, we have actually made so much progress.
We have, actually.
And Albania, yeah, we really have. I am proud of us.
I am very proud as well.
Yeah. Albania is really, it's a beautiful country with beautiful people, beautiful food and culture. Emphasis on the food. Burek.
Burek, yes. You know what I dislike about Albania? That is like
Consequence.
a consequence, yes, of communism. Unlike other countries where you can just like apply for a job, and if you're good enough, you're gonna get the job. Here, it doesn't work that way. You have to know someone that knows someone that might know someone to get you the job.
Fun fact, this is how Enver Hoxha got his job in the party.
Yeah, that's
He
how
got
it worked.
all.
That's how it worked.
Yeah, like he got it all. He was a teacher. That he got a scholarship because he knew someone. And he studied for free in, I think, Korcha or something like that. And then after that, World War II broke out. But he wasn't really worried, right? He continued working. And he found a job in a factory because one of his cousins worked there. And then he changed his job to another place, to another factory, because his other cousin worked there.
See?
And when he became part of the party in 1941, is because his other cousin was part of the party, and the what was it called? Yeah, the Communist Party of Albania was opened in like November 1941. But he got to where he was.
You see my point now? That's how it works here.
So nothing has changed then.
To this
is a
day.
bit depressing.
Yeah. I mean, some things have changed. You remember year 97? Ex-Hawana?
Oh, God.
I mean, you don't remember.
Well,
you were
1 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was not safe. Even when I was like, I don't know, maybe 8 years old or something, I remember watching the news on the television, and a lot of kids were being kidnapped and sold.
Oh, yeah, and women, they were trafficked out in Italy and Greece.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, because, people were starving to that. They really didn't know what to do after the communism. But none of that happens anymore. If you go to Albania with your kids, they won't get snatched.
Yeah.
90%.
Yeah,
certain.
it's
99%.
Yeah, it's very safe now compared to, I don't know, 20 years something.
Not even compared. It's quite safe. Like, I've lived in a lot of countries in Europe, and I feel safe in Albania. I know that things happen, but things happen everywhere. But for example, in England, as soon as the sun goes down, I go in. Like, I do not like being in the streets at like 7 p.m.
In Tirana, as soon as the sun goes down, I go out and party. Sometimes.
Yeah. That's another thing. Obviously, that's completely out of it. But that's what I love about Albania. Partying starts at 10 p.m.
Do you want to know where I party? Ex-Hawana.
Where? Daja.
Bloku. Do you know what Bloku is?
No, Daja. Tell me more. Well, obviously I do, but tell me more.
Okay. As I was saying, Bloku is like a part of the city that has like a lot of restaurants and clubs and pubs and stuff like that now. But it's the place where Enver used to live. And his house is still there. That motherfucker...
Which one is his house?
The big one with like a big yard?
But where? I don't know.
But how do I explain it to you now?
Does it have a name? Can you go in and see?
No one can go in.
Okay, whereabouts?
In Bloku. It's like a huge villa.
Yeah, so and now it's like the most affluent area in the city, isn't it? The most expensive, actually, in all of Albania, if you think about it.
Yeah. And the the motherfucker used to live there, and it was like, I think all of his puppies as well used to live there, and normal people could not go in there, like never in a million years.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like that. It do be like that.
Yeah, and as far as I've heard, it had like a lot of nice restaurants as well. Maybe that's why it's like a nice place to go.
So he
now.
started it then.
Yeah.
He was the OG hipster.
Was he? Actually, I've seen footage from inside his house, and he had a pool. He has a pool. Had, yeah. The pool is still there, I mean.
He's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, well, I'm glad he died anyway.
I've heard that the place is haunted.
Obviously. He's probably killed so many people in there.
Yes, and I've heard that sometimes the lights go, what's the word?
Go on by itself. By
Yes.
themselves.
Yes, by themselves. And I've also heard that the some security guys that used to guard the house went crazy because they heard like voices.
This is not the nice thing to hear. After last night, I spent like 2 hours talking about ghosts. This is not helping. I need to sleep tonight.
Yeah, we've been partying with ghosts the whole time, Exoana, there.
Love it for me. Love it. I hope they're having fun in the afterlife because they probably died a horrible death.
Yes, they probably, yeah.
I feel like a history teacher today. I feel like I've just been like monologuing all my information.
Yes.
I know you're sleepy, but I hope it was enjoyable for the viewers. It's just like a nice, it's kind of like the most important bit of history of Albania, I think, because it's what directly affects our present.
I agree. I mean, it's not like I know like a lot of stuff about communism, but I know like some stories, and after giving it like a second or maybe like a third thought, I was like, okay, I understand Albanians now, why they are the way that they are now.
Yeah, I know. This is why I like talking about it. I know that it's not the nicest of the subjects, but I do feel like it makes us understand ourselves and our country a lot better. But I do feel like a history teacher. I feel like I was speaking to you. So I hope our viewers enjoyed it.
Was I a good student though? No, I wasn't. I was never good at history anyway.
I love history. I feel like it helps me understand the world so much better.
You do have a point, but I have short-term memory loss, so...
You're like Dory from Finding Nemo.
Yes.
That's your new nickname, Dory.
Yes, call me Dory now. And I'm searching for my Nemo.
And on that note, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions, please do ask us and maybe we can talk about it on our other episode. But this was like a first introduction about Albania and what it is about.
Yes, and please, on the next episode, can we talk about something more, I don't know, gossip?
Okay, we can talk about the Kardashians.
No, not. We are more interesting than the Kardashians. Exoana. Well,
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Thanks for tooting my own horn. Ours. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you're having a great day. And yeah, see you in the next episode.
And
Bye.
I hope you Brits come and visit Albania.
Yeah, and everyone else.
Yes, and everyone else. Yes. Bye.
Bye.